next concept we are going to talk about is called Docker Compose. Okay, so the Docker Compose is something like when we talk about microservice, a microservice will be a full-blown application, right? That means like it will have the full stack in the complete service. That means it may have a web layer to facilitate the API communication, and a business logic layer which will be doing the business logic, and there will be a separate database layer which will be storing the data. Okay, when I want to bring up one microservice, I may need to bring up all the three containers. So I cannot run these containers in a single three different commands. There I may need to define dependencies between containers, okay, in the order in which it is going to bring up. So I will not be able to do that. That is where Docker Compose comes into picture, where I can write the instructions in a YAML format. With this, I'll be able to bring up multiple containers. Okay, so let's see that. So first, let me install the Docker Compose. Okay, so Docker Compose is available as a executable file. You don't need a package installation or something like that. So just download the executable and give a execute permission. Then you will be able to use the Docker Compose. So let's do that. So this will download the Docker Compose, and let me give a execute permission on this file. This is the file it will be executing. So sudo sudo x and to check the Compose whether it is installed properly or not, docker -compose version. You should get a proper output for it. Then you are good to use the Docker Compose.
Yes.
Let me go to the home directory, and then let me make a directory called Compose. Compose, and then let me go inside the Compose directory. There, the file name, it should be normally look like is docker-compose.yml. So this is the best practice. So docker-compose.yml. So in this file, so this is a proper indented file. So YAML works based on indentation. Okay, so basically the first line is the version, which is not mandatory in the latest versions. So I'm just going to give the API version for the Docker Compose. So 2 is okay, but in the latest version we no longer needed this, but okay. So in this Docker Compose, I'm going to bring up 2 services. Okay, one will be a database and another will be a web layer. Okay, for the database, I'm providing what is the image I should use. Okay, and what is the port mapping for it. And for the MySQL container, I need to provide 4 environment variables. I'm just providing that. Then I'm going to provide my web service. For that, I'm defining what is the image and what is the port number. Okay, using this single file, I'm going to bring up two containers. Okay, so let me save this, and to run this file or to bring up the complete thing, so the option is docker -compose up-d, and is docker compose up-d. -d is to bring up the containers in the background. If I don't give the d, it will just bring up the container and it will be blocking my session. So I'm just going to bring it up in the daemon mode. So I don't have the MySQL image, so it's downloading it. And you see that it is automatically creating a network, and in the network, it is bringing up the containers. Then it is bringing up the Nginx. Oh, I have the port 80 is running. I have an error. You see that it is bringing up the database, but web server it was not able to bring because my port 80 is already being used by some other application. So let me remove that. Which one it is? This one, because this is running on the host network, right? Docker stop this host network container. Okay. Now, if I run the docker compose up-d, it will just start the web because my database is already running. I don't have any issues. You see that my database was already running. It will not impact the existing container. Only thing is it will try to bring up the web. So if you do a docker ps, you can see it has brought up two containers with a single command. So this is the advantage of Docker Compose. And if you want to bring it down, so the command is Docker Compose down. So the containers will be removed. I'll show you that Docker Compose up. So both the containers came up. So what is my public IP? This is my public IP. If I try to refresh it, I will get the default Nginx page.